Brian is a 15-year-old male with cerebral palsy. Due to spasticity, he has a few gait deviations that occur. Spasticity in the plantar flexors keep Brian from performing heel strikes correctly during initial contact or from getting adequate push-off. The spastic plantar flexors also keep Brian's foot in a more plantar flex position, resulting in toe drag. Brian also has spasticity in his hip adductors. This results in decreased swing phase, as well as generalized instability in gait and genu valgum at the knees. During gait, Brian's heels never make contact with the ground due to his spastic plantar flexors. Also, crouch gait can occur due to a variety of reasons, including plantar flexion spasticity. Brian is also leaning forward, which indicates an increased use of momentum and lack of muscle control during gait. Brian's PT first begins by stretching out his plantar flexors. It's important that he makes contact with his heels as he steps up the incline to create maximal muscle lengthening. Once on top, the patient will maintain a static plantar flexor stretch position as he begins upper extremity manipulation of the cones. This causes him to lean forward, resulting in a greater plantar flexor stretch, as well as creating a goal-oriented activity and keeping Brian entertained. Going in reverse down the incline also increases plantar flexion length, as well as works on muscle control. In a study done by Tremblay et al., it was shown that the use of prolonged muscle stretch significantly reduced spasticity in the ankle muscles of children with cerebral palsy. By using the incline with upper extremity manipulations, Brian will undergo prolonged muscle stretching at the ankle. By using the rocker board, the physical therapist is able to control the amount of stretch that the patient experiences. While performing rocker board exercises, not only is stretching taking place, but Brian is developing increased eccentric control of both plantar flexors and dorsiflexors. It is important that the therapist safely guards the patient, but also gives him enough freedom to work on improving muscle control. The patient can place hands on therapist's shoulders for increased support. In a study by Chang et al., patients on a rocker board using active dorsiflexion to control movement displayed a significant decrease in dynamic ankle spasticity during gait at a normalized speed when compared to a control group. In the sitting position, Brian struggles to get to standing and requires multiple attempts. Due to spastic plantar flexors, his weight is put through his toes more than his heels. He also has trouble generating adequate power as he relies on a momentum strategy by rocking forward till he gets his weight over his feet. Due to his adductor spasticity, his knees are very close together, and he is at a mechanical disadvantage to put adequate power through his knees to stand. Here you can clearly see the momentum strategy used to create forward movement. Once standing, patient requires several steps to gain balance and to have control over his momentum. Upon sitting, patient shows decreased eccentric control as he plops down hard rather than sitting nice and easily. Squats with a Swiss ball can be used to strengthen quads and hamstrings as well as reduce adductor spasticity. To begin with, the physical therapist asks the patient to squat down without a ball to get an idea how well they can perform the activity. Then the Swiss ball is placed in front of the patient and positioned to keep knees from deviating towards the midline as the squat is performed. By squatting in this position, it will stretch out Brian's hip adductors, which can result in a decrease in spasticity and an improvement in function. This exercise can also build eccentric and concentric quad strength, which will help Brian in a sit to stand. The ball can also be used for support if the patient is unsteady or weak. In this exercise, Brian is performing side steps over a bolster and incorporating mini squats. By squatting, it is once again working on quad strength, but this time there is no Swiss ball to keep his knees from deviating towards midline. By sidestepping over the bolster and squatting while maintaining hip abduction, it is forcing Brian to actively use his hip abductors, which is very important to counteract his adductor spasticity. Once again, upper extremity manipulation is incorporated to make the activity more goal-oriented and to keep the patient entertained. This exercise can also be progressed by adding a TheraBand around the knees to encourage more abductor activity.